Anyway, the topic that we're going to debate is, should the British Lions play at home if needs be? Now, Toby chose to go against.
Did I?
Yes,
I did, yeah.
And I have chosen. Well, I didn't choose. I had to go for. So whether or not I believe this or not, or whether or not you believe it or not, that's the sides we're going for. So I am arguing that they should play at home if needs be. You're arguing against. Do you want to go first?
No, you can go first.
I'll go first. Okay, so 4. These are the things for it going ahead in this country. So
for it going ahead in England.
Well, not just England, big fella.
No.
The British Lions are made up of a number of unions together.
4.
So therefore, you could have, well, we wouldn't go to Scotland because it's got no players. You'd have one game. You'd have one game in England at Twickenham. You have one game at Wales, and you have one game in Ireland.
That's
right?
village.
And
you can't do that.
And you'd have some midweekers, right?
In Scotland.
Right, or you flip a coin. You have some other, maybe you play 4 games. But anyway, you travel it round. Just think how cool that would be. There's a lot of South Africans that live in this country. The half of them would come and they would fill out the stadiums. Me and you might go. We would love it. You're going to get full stadiums by this. The vaccine is here. My parents-in-law have had their vaccine yesterday. Me and you, we're going to have our vaccine tomorrow. No, we're not. But anyway, I'm going for this. Okay. So there's going to be crowds, money. It's gonna make so much money. And I reckon rather than them splitting the money, they should say, okay, we're not just going to split the money. We're going to give 2/3 to South Africa.
That won't happen.
And we'll take 1/3.
That won't happen.
Because they're coming to us.
The lost revenue, but that won't happen.
Right. COVID has changed everything, mate.
COVID's almost gone, bud.
COVID's changed everything. Why not change one more thing?
Okay, what are you
I
changing?
know it's a special thing, the Lions, but as a one-off, to get some rugby played, to get the Lions going ahead, I'm going to say to you, Toby Harris, let's make an exception. It could be something very, very special, and I reckon we should give it a go. I rest my case. Over to you, big fella.
I take on exactly what you've said, and I agree with a lot of it.
Oh, that's great.
I agree with a lot.
Yes, thank you very much.
But let's say a couple of years ago, Lions are going to South Africa. Damien, you've actually made the team. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks, Tobes.
Would you rather go to South Africa and tour South Africa, feed off the culture, all that sort of jazz, or would you rather stay in England?
No, you're absolutely right. But I don't want to die from COVID. So
no,
I'm
but you're not going to die from COVID.
I am going to die of COVID because that South African thing is horrific. Do you know what I mean?
We don't know if it's horrific.
It is. I know.
Oh,
I know.
For God's sake. Anyway.
I spoke to it.
I have this telepathic voice in my head. Anyway. Okay, so you would rather travel to South Africa?
100%. I'd rather.
Easy peasy, eh? Now, I know there might not be many crowds.
Or any crowds.
But we don't know that. So potentially you could have a full stadium. Now,
I think you're really pushing the boat out there.
Yeah, but just let me... Okay. Are you going to let me finish?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, so if there were crowds, there wouldn't be that many English, Welsh, Irish, Scottish people there, which would be fantastic. Why would it be fantastic?
You do make a good point there. Well, it wouldn't be good.
No, it wouldn't be good for the travellers.
The hotels and all of that, all the tourist stuff.
Correct.
Wouldn't be making them. The townships, all of these under-deprived townships wouldn't be getting the money that they would normally get because that's part of touring in South Africa. So that's a real shame.
But I'm going to take your point. Where you said South Africa will get a bit more than England or, the Lions would get.
Yes.
Okay. And some of that fund would be pumped back into the local businesses, the country itself for the loss of revenue that the tourists would have brought into the country.
Okay. Any more points?
No, I can't bother now.
Mate, can I say this? I definitely think that it's the Lions are special.
Lions are special. Do I think it's going to be in England or South Africa? 100% right now, I think it's going to be in England.
You think it'll go ahead in England?
Yeah, and for the safety of the players and, the tourists, because I know a lot of tourists would still go out there.
Yeah.
Because they're rugby mad. It would save a lot of health money, because if they get it, they're going to want to go and get fixed, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I think it would save a lot of money in the scheme of things, and potentially a lot of lives, if they played it in this country.
I reckon this is going to happen. I don't think it'll go ahead.
You don't think it'll go ahead full stop?
Don't think it'll go ahead. I think that it'll be canned.
So the South Africa one will just be cut off the history.
People are saying it'll happen
skip.
next year. It won't happen next year because the World Cup's the year after.
Yeah.
And you're going to get Eddie Jones is going to say, no, I'm not going to give my players 2 years. But I do think it might happen. They might just postpone it for a few years and actually have it the year after the World Cup.
But then you've got 2 Lions tours within quite quick succession, don't you?
But I don't think that would be a bad thing.
I think they should just can it and leave it for another 12 years. I'm sorry, unlucky, but it is what it is.
It is what it is.